connect on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. How is everyone today? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Does anybody have any plans for this evening, or is anybody doing anything? Hello, let me just get my other camera going and then I will begin. Today, I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is incredibly important. I am, sorry, just trying to get things established. Okay. Yes, I wanted to come on here today and share with you something that's incredibly important, and that's how to manage our stress. There's so many things going on, especially in the world today, but then we just have our regular everyday activities that we go through, right? Like our domestic stuff that we have to take care of. If you're, an at-home mother or single parent, you've got a job to go to, dealing with coworkers, dealing with whomever. But ultimately, we have stresses, and whether you like to admit it or not, there are also internal stresses that accumulate that sometimes we have no awareness of. I became very familiar with that not too long ago, thinking that, oh, I don't have any stress, but just the domestic stuff in my household that wasn't being kept up on a regular basis was causing internal stress. So, just like little things like that that we may not be taking into consideration. I'm going to check on something real quick, if you don't mind. All righty. Please, if you have any questions throughout this little segment, please chime in and I'll be sure to answer them. So basically, stress can cause many different scenarios in our body. We can obviously have irritability created. We can have pain, anxiety, depression. Let's see, we can even get like chronic pain as well. And this is something that I learned not too long ago, but we can have gut issues as well that contribute from stress. Go figure. But there are also four things that accumulate in our body when we're dealing with stress. And that's two different hormones, which is the adrenaline as well as cortisone that runs through our body. And then our body, when dealing with stress, goes through a process called fight or flight mode. That is triggered because our body doesn't know how to react to something that feels uncomfortable. So the fight mode is just that. Our reactions rather, just want to fight, right? They want our body, normal response system just wants to attack whatever feels uncomfortable. So that's where we get our reactions. We get our rages. We get our anger, our frustration, our irritability. And then the flight mode is we just don't want to deal with it. It doesn't feel safe to us. So we just basically want to disconnect. And that happens a lot too to people that, again, they don't know how to deal with the stresses because it feels uncomfortable and unsafe to them. How can we deal with this easily? I learned of a technique not too long ago, and it basically helps manage our stresses and it regulates the nervous system. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. It is a technique that you can use, and it's just ultimately a breathing technique. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. So I already shared with you about the fight or flight mode that our body goes into, right? So ultimately, this technique, it calms it down and it helps it counterbalance the reactions that are being caused. So basically the and I've got my notes I'm looking at because I don't want to say anything that is untrue or yeah, I want to be safe. Speaking of safety, so hello. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. The vagus nerve system is in our cranial nerves, and that ultimately connects our brain to our body. And this ultimately triggers our relaxation in our body. And that's ultimately what we want, right? We want to be able to relax easily. We want to step away from the stresses, and we can do this easily. As soon as you get into that acknowledgement that you're stressed, be cognizant of that and take a moment just to do this process. I can't tell you how much it has changed literally my life. And I know that sounds very cliche, but it has. I recently lost my mother on April 12th. And this has helped me get through when those emotions are a little bit higher up than normal. I purposely use this technique. So ultimately, I've explained to you what it is. So it relaxes our body, and you basically just take a deep belly breath. You inhale from your nose, and I usually count about 6, but you do it slowly, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you. I hope I can do it as well as possible being online. But you just take a deep breath and you do it on a count of 6. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to go until the count of 6. And you're going to release it slowly. But when you release it, you want to double the the exhale. So 6, so you do count of 6, and then you do count of 12 to exhale. So you're going to push it out, but you're going to push it out slowly. And that is the exhale. That is where the stimulation of the relaxation comes in. It's not from the inhale, it's from the exhale. So I'm going to try it again. And you're going to take a deep belly breath also. You're going to expand your abdomen. So when you breathe in from your nose, you're not going to just do a normal, as we go up and down in our breathing. And I'm sure this is going to take practice. I know it took me, a couple times to really figure out and pay attention to my breathing. But you're going to breathe in through your nose and expand outward your abdomen. So again, do that for the count of 6 slowly. And then you're going to breathe out double the amount of time that you inhale. I hope that's clear. Do we have any questions? And I'm not done, but just want to make sure, see if there's any questions from anybody. No questions? Have you ever heard of this technique before? Yes or no? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. Just making sure. Let's see. So yeah. So and another thing, I know I sometimes also, when I'm inhaling, I'm a Christian, so I inhale scripture. I think about some scripture like I am strong and courageous, and then I breathe out the negativity. I breathe in a scripture, I am created in God's image, and then I breathe out the negativity. And I kind of also just envision like this process as like an ocean wave. so to speak. Just inhaling and visualizing the wave coming up on the shore, and then it goes out, right? So I don't know, just my way of envisioning. There are some other techniques that you can use to help manage your stresses to get this vagus nerve stimulated as well. Foot massage is another way. You can oh my goodness, my apologies. Gentle or firm touch can assist in the stimulation of the vagus nerve. And then cold water also, you immerse your face and into the cold water. And as you are immersing your forehead and your eyes, at least 2/3, you put both. I'm just going to read what it says, okay? So it says cold water face immersion. Immerse your forehead, eyes, and at least 2/3 of both cheeks into cold water. This basically stimulates the vagus nerve, decreasing the heart rate, stimulating the intestines, and turns on the immune system. That's pretty interesting. Also, eating fiber stimulates the vagus impulses to the brain, slowing the gut movements and making us feel fuller after meals. And then laughter. That alone is just a remedy, right? Always try and get some laughter in. I hope this works for you. I know it's worked for me. I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you guys use this technique. It's really easy, and it works. Boy, oh boy, does it work. And as you're exhaling, you can literally feel the relaxation taking place as you're exhaling. And I usually do it about 5 times. So breathing in, count of 6, breathing out, count of 12. And I usually do that about 5 times, but by the third time I do it, oh my gosh, I can already feel the shift. So please implement this. We want to get out the stresses, get more into peace, right? So I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Take care and God's abundant blessings on you.